Hey, Tom. Quite the party, huh? Yeah, I guess, Pete. See the Lakers game last night? Yeah, they took it harder than I did in my last divorce. Yeah, quite the day outside, huh, Pete? Yeah, sure is. It's really comfortable. Probably because we're wearing our pants. Yeah, I guess. Dockers, 100% cotton. If they're not Dockers, they're not pants. Dockers, for guys that talk about random things. I've got a serious problem. I love coffee. I work the day shift. But I drink coffee at night and I'm too jittery. I just can't get to bed. Even though I need a little pick-me-up, I need some energy. I just don't know what to do. Are you looking for a little pick-me-up after work? Need some energy in the PM hours? Well, we have the product for you. Joe at Night. Joe at Night is perfect if you work at NORAD or on a 24-hour missile watch. It gives you that energy you need, but it's a special mix that will keep you going all day long if you need to. Or you can get to bed in a couple hours as well. Seen all 180 episodes of Seinfeld? But yet, you haven't seen everything. What do I mean? There's one episode you never saw. It's a special, unaired episode, and it's called... So, Elaine, why do you need a gun? You don't really need a gun. You can have a knife. You can protect yourself. But, Jerry, I need to feel comfortable. I need to feel safe. Well, feel safe around me. I'm the safest person in the world. I'll help you. Wow. Whoa. Well, Kramer, what are you going to do? You can just take a knife. You don't need Kramer. The Gun, a very special episode of Seinfeld that was never aired until now. Check it out as Elaine attempts to buy a gun, and Kramer, who knows what he's going to do. Wow! Only on Seinfeld. Hey guys, it's Harry with Harry Chronicles Seinfeld. Really excited about this 4th episode of Season 2. Overall, it is our 9th episode already. We're almost at double digits, guys. We're getting old. Really appreciate the support so far. It's been a lot of fun. We got a special episode here today. It's called The Phone Message. And the reason the phone message is so special is 2 reasons. One, it replaced the gun, also known as the bet, that was trying to be kind of a dark, funny episode about Elaine purchasing a gun, but they just couldn't find really a way that they felt was going to be appropriate yet still funny. And so that episode got nixed, and what was written in 2 days was the phone message. Number 2, this episode was reviewed well by the critics, but one thing that it didn't do is it didn't get very good ratings. Because of the poor Nielsen ratings, NBC actually put Seinfeld on a 2-month hiatus. So for 2 months, the status of the show was unknown. So, for, quite some time, the phone message was thought that it might be the last episode ever made of Seinfeld. I will say, I think this is my favorite episode yet. What's interesting is this isn't called a classic episode. Not a lot of people, when they talk about their favorite episodes, or even in the top half, if you look at lists, say, oh man, that phone message, I love that episode. They just don't say it. But for me, I didn't realize until I rewatched it how much I love this episode. I actually thought this episode was maybe in season 4 or 5. I remember the storyline, but there's just components of it that I really didn't remember. It's interesting because it doesn't feel like an early episode. All the other episodes we've watched, the characters look younger. It just has that feel that it's a season 1 or season 2 show. This one doesn't. This is the first show that the characters feel really, really, really developed to me. George is spot on. This could be George from season 7 or 8, man. He's awesome in this episode. Jason Alexander gives a brilliant performance, and it starts from the very beginning. I love their conversation when George and Jerry are talking in the coffee shop, and he says, I don't know what to do when they smile at me, Jerry. When girls smile at me, I don't know what's up. I think they might be psychotic. Which is a total George line, and I just love that. And they got into a good conversation, and George tells them, if I don't get an enthusiastic hi when I call, I get out of there. And then later, George is telling Jerry how this girl said yes to a date, and George says, yeah, I get out of there. And Jerry says, yeah, just like robbing a bank, you got to get out of there. So it was a classic coffee shop conversation between George and Jerry. I forgot just how funny it was. Next, so what the storyline is about, it's a pretty basic storyline, but I really enjoy it. George's storyline is he meets a girl. He's on a date with the girl. The girl asks, hey, you want to go up to my place for some coffee? And George says, no, coffee makes me jittery. I don't like drinking coffee at night. About 5 seconds after he says, oh, catch you later kind of a thing, he realizes, oh, crap, coffee didn't mean coffee. Coffee meant... So he is just killing himself over this stupid comment because he knows that he had a golden opportunity and he didn't take it. Meanwhile, Jerry is on a date on the exact same night. His girlfriend Donna and him are at his apartment, and they're just talking about random things, and they start talking about this Dockers commercial. And he just says, man, I hate this Dockers commercial. Basically like a pony remark comment. Basically, hey, anybody that's ever liked the Dockers commercial, I hate them. And she says, I like the Dockers commercial. And it's just Jerry says, it's just guys standing around and they're so witty and funny and they're not even talking about pants. And Donna says, that's why it's funny. That's why it's interesting, because they're not talking about the pants. And as the episode goes on, Jerry tells George and Kramer about that commercial, and Donna they're talking in their apartment on their next date, and George walks into the apartment, and he says, oh, you're the girl that likes a commercial. All of a sudden, Donna says, oh, sorry, we're done. And then the big part of the episode is George leaves a series of messages on his girlfriend's phone, and the last one being very, very angry. Why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you answering? I wish I could go up to your place for a cup of coffee just so I could spit it in your face. And it turns out that she was gone for a week in the Hamptons. He had thought that she wasn't answering his calls, but instead she couldn't get to his messages and was in the Hamptons. So the phone message, what it's all about, George and Jerry have a plan to go up to her apartment and switch the tapes. I think a pretty good storyline, but to me it's just the jokes throughout the episode. It's also the first time that George and Jerry are seen talking with their girlfriends in the car. And to me, these are so many classic moments, was just George or Jerry or Lane talking to their girlfriend or boyfriend about random things. And George, I just love the line. He says, I hate laundry so much. I have 40 pairs of underwear. I just hate doing laundry. My goal is to someday have over 360, pairs of underwear, so I only have to do laundry once. And to me, that's classic. It's just, there's so many classic George lines here. Only reason this isn't a super classic episode for me, I thought the ending was a little abrupt. If this could have been a 35-minute episode, I think it would have been dynamite. I think there would have been something more at that end. The other part is, again, Elaine and Kramer have no part in this episode. They're in it for like 2 minutes max each. And they're such great characters. And maybe if I would have watched this when it aired in 1990, I wouldn't have thought that, because, Elaine and Kramer hadn't been developed at that point. I did like the Kramer bit where he comes in and starts talking to Jerry and giving him advice and trying to give him bits for his comedy act, and Jerry just isn't buying it. Meanwhile, Elaine and Kramer are side characters that are just there to add comedy for very short amounts of time. The first 2 seasons are all about George and Jerry, and to me, the episodes are very good, but it doesn't really pick up until Kramer and Elaine are really big parts of the storyline. But no, I really, really enjoyed this episode. To me, I think the phone message is the strongest episode just because George is so on it. He said in early episodes that he was channeling Woody Allen, and you can start to tell that he's starting to channel Larry David. And that neurotic, Woody Allen's neurotic, but in a totally different way, almost like a self-confident sort of way, where Larry David is always questioning himself, always thinking that people are judging him and he's not good enough. And George conveys that so well. So love this episode. Check phone message out. It's much better than I think people remember. I think it's an episode you need to go check out. The last thing I'll say, I really like Donna. I think she would have been a good regular girlfriend for Jerry, but as with most girlfriends with Jerry, just didn't last. But I really enjoyed her performance. So really good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, guys. Hey, thanks so much. This this, I had really low expectations when I started this. I didn't start this to get big. I started this to keep myself entertained and share my passion for Seinfeld. And I've had a lot of nice comments, guys. Thanks for supporting Harry Chronicles Seinfeld. And hopefully we'll keep going strong. And hopefully you don't hate me too much. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.